We help with the microphone was turned on. Good evening. Good evening to Scouse, Diablo, Magnatex, Old Steel. How are you all? Hope you are enjoying Wednesday evening. Hopefully it's not too warm where you are. Not even racing. Oh, Scouse. I'll allow that through. I thought I turned off the auto mod. "38 degrees. It feels 38 degrees, and I'm doing fucking commentary. God knows how you lot are feeling. Hello, Matt. First time chat. How are you, mate? Right, we'll go through the championship standings, shall we? And it's loaded the wrong one, so let me update that because I'm sure that is out. There we go, that's better. So, Vantablade's still currently sitting in P1 on 392 points. They've been the early runners for the entire first half of the season. Helped with the fact that Bab picked up two pedestrian wins in the Verstappen tier, but even after that point, they've still been the team to beat. It'll be like a 27-4, 27-3, Jack. Probably quicker than that, potentially. Progen Mercedes have jumped up a position. They're now sitting in P2 in the standings, down 342 points. They're now 50 behind Vantablaid, so they're slowly closing that gap. Murdergram currently in P3, they also gained a position. They're on 310 points. As Prestige jump into the top 5, I'm pretty sure for the first time this season. They're on 303 points, and Monarch complete the top 5 on 289. That's not going to bin it, mate. Williams had a stinker around Netherlands, scoring just 31 points for their team. They dropped from P2 all the way down to P6. They're on 273 points. Jaguar moved up to P7 on 205. Typical Williams BMW behaviour, yep. Kinetic dropped a position. They're down in P8 now on 253 points. Sentinel Racing Technology are down at a position themselves to P9 on 247. And rounding out the constructors field is the People Racing team on 193 points. This is round 5 of 11. This is just on the edge of the midfield. The midfield? Midpoint of the season. I was trying to say. And it is also trade week, so there's going to be a lot happening behind the scenes regarding that as well, which could shake up the entire constructor standings after this race and at the end of the trade week. As for the Drivers' Championship, Magnatex currently leads the way still. Extended his gap out in front. The fact that he outscored Mark by, how many points is that? 8. Over Hilly's P2, who Hilly isn't oh my god, I can't even speak. Hilly isn't racing tonight, but he jumped himself up to P3 after his second place in the Netherlands. And Matt is currently P4 in the driver's standings with Rattigan, the 1 million driver in the draft. He's currently in P5. No problem, Wiggy. Everyone's here. I'm just waiting for the 8 o'clock start. It's a 19 car grid. I don't know who. There's a car missing. It might be for PRT. I'm not sure. It is for PRT. Yeah, you're not on the standing scales because you're classified as a reserve, mate. The standings are purely for full-time drivers. I've been told that you're not full-time. Well, the last I heard, I asked the question after last week. I asked, "Oh, who's the full-time driver? Is it Lanny or is it Scouse?" And I got told it was still Lanny, and you were still reserve. While I wait, let me drop his face. Well, if Mag's not communicated that to the admins, then that'll be why I've not been made aware either. I will ask again after tonight. Oh, it's off. I just disconnected. Oh, fuck off, will ya? Hello, beefy boy. Uh, 8 o'clock, Andy. Is it podium time? Of course it's podium time. It's always podium time. For those of you not aware as well, there is a specific rule in place for tonight's race, and the fact that you cannot use hard compound tyres. So it's going to make for a pretty interesting race. Top strategy. Softs and the mediums in play. See what the TPs decide on their teams and whether they start on. You're not allowed the hards, John. I mean, yeah, you could use intermediates. Not that you want to. I mean, actually, no. I've used intermediates on Bahrain before. In the DTS race as well. Bahrain, can you not fucking read the screen? It's not worth it. Oh, I need to. No problem, Scouse. Diablo win it be. Diablo win it should be. Nice English, Manic. Nah, he's washed, mate. Why is it loading me here? I'm host. Hello, 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 hello. Assuming we aren't getting into qualifying yet. I fucked up with the lobby setting. Oh, there we go. Ignore him, Hilly. Early runners out on track. Oh, we've got a lot of early runners out on track. Delta's first car. I think Rage is in second. John is second car. Diablo's third. Nathan's Rage is fifth. "24 viewers, Jesus Christ." Right, Delta is first man on a lap. It's driving for Prestige, right? No. Yeah, he's Prestige. This is car is purple, not pink. That's normal. Got a slightly different shade of colour, but we'll ignore that. So Delta's starting his flying lap down the pit straight. He's got a lot of battery already into the first sector. Braking for the first corner, not a lot of LICO at all from Delta, so obviously not optimising the battery recharge. Going into turn 1, swinging out turn 2, inside curve, right the outside curve of turn 3, down the straight, up to turn 4, pick your braking point. Obviously with LICO ideally is what you want to do. Delta brakes just shy of the 100 metre board, hits the apex at turn 4, swings it out now, avoids the curve at the exit of turn 5, and now it's the fast left to right section. All the curbs where he can. It's got the hairpin as his next corner, which is turn 7, I'm pretty sure. Now we're coming down to turn 8 and turn 9. It's the apex at the bottom of turn 9. Now it's the front. Next straight line mode. Down to turn 10. Battery Delta. You've got John in the background. I think John will probably set a more competitive lap. Delta, but obviously we'll stick on board because Delta is the first guy on a flying lap. It's coming up now to the end of sector 2. To turns 13. This one is, unless I've got all my corner numbers completely wrong. Now he's got 2 straights to go, followed by one more braking point. Brake probably, yeah, just shy of the 100 meters. Again, there's not a lot of liking from Delta, but he's managed to battery over the lap pretty well. And it's going to run to the line and set the first time of this session. And he's a 1 minute 30.093, so I'm expecting that to be beaten. We'll try and get John as he's about to cross the line, and he does, and he beats that by 7/10 of a second. It's a 29. Let's say was next. Diablo's next, wasn't he? And he beats that. It's a 28.9 for Diablo. Rage goes slower than his teammate in the 1 minute as well. Atham is next across the line actually, and he goes slowest overall with a 1:30.5. So a few people struggling on early laps to really set any pace down. Cold Steel goes onto the front row, 29.0. As Beefy Boy goes quickest overall with a 1 minute 28.687. So he sets the provisional time. 2 cars just started a lap. I think there's one about to finish a lap. That's probably Viking Fox. And it is Viking Fox. And he moves up to P5 with a 1:29.701. Got a blue car going. Final sector. That is Irish Scouse. So we'll jump on board for the end of his lap. And I'm pretty sure he was sideways going into turn 13. I need to get the track back. But let's go through the final corner now. Run to the straight. He's going to run out of battery way before the line. We'll see what kind of lap time Scouse can set. It's going to be 29. It is a 29. It's 5th place. It's a 29 for Irish Scouse. Delta's car there. What's the next car on a flying lap? Bergen. His first flying lap was obviously must have been either a bailed lap or a warm-up lap. He's got Cold Steel ahead of him. Steel backs off and might be able to give Bergen a bit of a tow. Hasn't, so he's not going to get that tow. It's the wrong button. Final corner. It's really on the exit, it looked like from Bergen, but it's a run to the line and it's looking like a very decent lap for Bergen. It's P4, it's just behind his teammate. 29.1. Multiple cars starting a lap right behind each other in the midfield. It's like 5 cars on like the same straight. Why can I not move up? So we've got Chris on a lap. There's a car ahead of him, which I think is Magnetix. Yeah, so Magnetix is on a lap, as is Diablo, and then you've got Rage right behind Diablo as well. There's 2 cars literally stationary at the end of the straight. Scouse. I think Matt F1 has just started his flying lap. He's a car in clean air. We'll stick on board with Matt, to Progy Mercedes driver, my team. It's 4 through the first sector. Flashes it with purple, but that's because it's the first time he has done, so I'll not believe that. So that through the sector, only a battery left. Battery left. So far for that. They abstain clear out of the way. Put tabs on them 3 cars, whether any 3 or not. Diablo's right on the back of Magnetix, so yeah, a nice tow, but it depends on what kind of lap time he's doing. Diablo goes quickest overall, Magnetix should 4. Magnetix did a 29.1. And Diablo beat that by setting a 28.5. As Diablo's just cut the first corner completely. That is finishing his fine lap. Not as optimal as what you could be on the final corner for extra Lyco battery. Verstappen down to the line for Matt. Is he going to beat Diablo this time? He isn't. He slots himself into P3 alongside his teammate for tonight, 28.8. Magnatex isn't on a lap. There's cars all over the place doing double laps, so it's hard to tell who's on a lap and who isn't on a lap. Those that are on the track. Scouse is about to do another flying lap. He's 3.5 tenths up, and he's lap 3 tenths up. Jumps just behind his teammate into P6. Rage isn't on the flying lap. It's Haven. That's also just done a lap. We're charging to go again, or he's done a second flying lap. 2 and P3. I think Ratigan has just started his flying lap. He's going through turn 1. Royal Rumble's coming up to turn 4. And JM he's gone around turn 7. Down to turn 8 and turn 9. It's that inside front tyre. Rise the outside curb's got a broken tyre in front of him, which get out of the way. It's that one. I think that's a man. Went out of the way. Oh, wrong button. Very aggressive over the curve from Jamie. He's used a lot of battery already in this middle sector, so it's a 1:06.5 middle sector, which I think is the quickest we've seen. However, he's now ran out of battery down the final 2 straights, which is going to eat into the lap time that he's going to set, and it's probably going to push him deep into the 29s, I'd imagine. Not managed his battery optimally over a flying lap. Comes across the line, though, does JM, and it is a 28.6, actually, so that's a very good lap from JM. But the way he didn't optimise his battery for the final sector, he would have lost a lot of time, but obviously not. He really lit the timing boards through the first and middle sector, obviously. Ratigan is about to come across the line. In comparison, Ratigan did a 1:07.3 through the middle sector, which was nearly 7-8 tenths down on what JM did. Let's see if we can find another on a flying lap. Look at his battery. Board with Haytham. Fine, I don't know where they're on laps as well. One of them is... which hasn't improved. One of them is Mark, who's just started a lap as well. Oh, that's across the line. That's Bergen, who was on an out lap. So yeah, Haytham is about to cross the line to complete his latest flying lap. He's got Rage up behind him again. So Haytham across the line, goes slower, so he doesn't improve. Rage peels off his pits. John is on an out lap, so he's about to start a flying lap. Out on his lap again, so he's obviously struggling to get a lap time in his mark. He improves to a 1:40.1. Holden, I think, is on his first flying lap, obviously. 28.8 through the first sector. Started a flying lap? I think he has. John, it says he's on an out lap, but John's on a lap, so he's about to cross the line, and he does cross the line. It's a 28.8 for John, moves himself up to P5. Very nice lap from John. Beefy Boy's on a lap at the moment himself. Currently shy of a 10th up through the first sector. Tabs with what he's doing as terms of a lap time. Mark is we've got Colden, who is actually going to cross the line ahead of Beefy Boy, so we'll put tabs on this time as he comes down the penultimate straight. One more corner to go. Plenty of battery for the run to the line as well as Colden, so he's managed his battery quite well, or he's not optimised his battery enough for an entire lap, but he's going to cross the line, boost himself ahead of his teammate, but it's 17 for Colden at the moment, hoping probably for a little bit more. Mark is currently 9.5 seconds up. Hard to gauge on what kind of time he's going to be setting because he's got no reliable benchmark. This will be his first lap time of qualifying. The time could be his only lap time of qualifying. Comes across the line, it's a 29.1, which is considerably off the pace that we know that he can set, but got 4 minutes to try and get back to the garage to set a new, put on a new set of tyres and go again if he can. Looked like Beefy Boy didn't improve in the end, considering he stayed P3. And his time stayed at the 1 minute 28.6. John's come into the pits, so we've got Holden and Mark on track. Probably they might be either be falling down to go again. Mark's definitely coming into the pits because he's got the fuel warning. Like, come on. Holden might be recharging to go again. Bassen's on a lap at the moment, so we're actually sticking board with Bassen and the only car on track on a lap at the moment. Wide on the exit of the turn 6 hairpin, but rides over the outside curb nicely. Now it's the run down to the difficult braking zone, obviously turn 7, then turn 8. No, this is turn 8 and turn 9. Unless one of the kinks is another turn. Yep. Traction working wonders for Bassen. If I did that on no TC. Yeah, these look like illegal car colours. Yeah, there must be a visual glitch. Unless we've seen a new Monarch livery, but like the Super Bowl livery's been released early if they qualify. Anyway, the run to the line for Bassen, and it is a 28.7 for Bassen, so he moves himself up to P4 onto the second row of the grid. Unless he's got the fuel to go again, that'll be his qualifying finished. And we've got cars coming out of the pit lane now. Starting Beefy Boy is currently at 10th again after the first sector, so we recharge the battery to go again. Mercedes reserve driver reserving for Hilly. Right. 1/10 up. TC, you can hear the full TC working when you go on board through the slow speed sections. Hill to the end of the second sector. He's got 1 more second to go and 2 more braking points. He's 3 temps up at the moment, so if he's managed the battery well enough for the final sector, you could see a low 1 minute 28 for Beefy Boy to set that new provisional pole marker time. He's got barely any battery left. He will recharge a little bit through the final corner, but it's one run now down to the line using whatever he's got left, whatever battery, whatever straight line speed, and he's going to cross the line. And it is a 28.3 for Beefy Boy. He goes up to provisional pole position, and that is the new benchmark for the likes of JM, Diablo, and Cold Steel to try and beat. Very solid lap time for Beefy Boy. Probably be coming into the pits now, unless he's got fuel to go again. I doubt it, considering that will also be his third run on the tyres as well. Mark did make it to the pits, and he's on an outlap, so I think he is going to get another lap in. Wow. Oh, who's on a lap and who isn't on a lap? Looking Fox is on a lap and he's competing with all heaps of traffic. He's 8 tenths down after the first sector. He's continuing to push on with this lap unless that was purely battery related and he's going to put in a middle sector which is going to put him a second up. 1.3 seconds down. Or has Fox done his lap already and I missed it? It's coming into the pits. It might be that actually. Cold Steel is about to start his flying lap. There's a white car, he's been let through. There's another pink car on the lap. That might be Delta. Delta's on a lap. He's 2 tenths up, so we'll stick on board with Delta because he's about to cross the line and set his final flying lap of this qualifying session. Aiming to try and get into the 29s. He does get into the 29s, however, he doesn't improve his position. Stays in P16. Oh, this car's coming across the line thick and fast at the moment. There, who's that? That is Scouse. He's currently 1 tenth up, going through the final sector. This is his flying lap. And he jumps up to P8 to 28.8 for Scouse, so it's P8 at best for Scouse. He jumps ahead at a Viking Fox who is completely qualifying. Haytham is the run to the line. Not on a flying lap. Won't bother with that. John is not on a flying lap either. Matt is the next car to come across the line. He's 3 tenths down at the moment, so unless he's saved time in the final sector, and he hasn't, so it's P6 at best for Matt. A lot of people improving their times on these final flying laps, it looks like. There's a lot of traffic again. Red car about to cross the line. That's JM, so we'll jump on board with JM because he was the one originally fighting for that pole position. What time has he put into the def? It's good enough for P2. 1 minute 28.4, but it's a tenth off Beefy Boy's pace. And what Diablo got, he is currently 3 tenths up going into the final sector. He's got the tow from the car ahead. He's got, like I say, he's got the battery. He's very minimal on battery, but it looks like he's managed it to perfection. How much time is he going to lose on this final straight? Run to the line for Diablo. Is it going to be pole position for Diablo and Jaguar Invid? It is, and it's pole by 1.5 tenths as Mark smashes that out the window from absolutely nowhere. 1 minute 28 flat, and it's pole position for Williams BMW. A lap from absolutely nowhere after struggling through the first half of qualifying. That's Mark's first pole position of the season. That'll put him in very good stead. Championship battle against Magnatex and the teams and the drivers around him. Finished. Oh, whoever's hosting the other Bahrain has put it in the daytime. That's cursed. Lemons did a 27. Mark's time would have put him P11 in Hamilton. Grid penalties in qualifying in Hamilton. Maximize tube. Your own time, Verstappen. Only two already up at once. All in Hamilton. It's lemons. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I know, yeah, everyone's literally fallen asleep. Mag, if you're ready, ready up, mate, please. I'll be going, I can hear the noise. Pigeon P2, JT P3, Plev P5, Over's top 5, Pork P6, Big D 7th, Stomper 8th, Bailey 9th, Jack 10th. Right, so, as per the event, we should not be seeing any hard compound tyres. If we see a hard compound tyres, they are instantly disqualified, and we do not see a hard compound tyre, which is good. Last thing we need to see is someone starting on the hards. So everyone opting for the soft compound tyres, apart from Rage, Haytham, Craig and Royal Rumble, who have gone medium. So this will be a two-stop race for sure. Softs will probably go, I would expect to probably see pit stops depending on strategies from about lap 4 onwards. Yep, game, free stop. That's absolutely marvellous. You would do less laps on a medium tyre than you would on a soft. Gotta love the in-game strategies. So yeah, this will be a two-stop race. Softs probably doing around that 6-7 lap mark optimally. Mediums will be doing around 10 to 12. Safety cars obviously could play into strategy. About to get a race start in Hamilton, so seeing as we're still on the formation lap, I'm going to see the carnage that's going to ensue at turn 1. Lemons look like he got a shocking start. Pigeon might take the lead off him. Oh, no, never mind. Field, but so everyone in Hamilton has got through turn 1. Okay. He's ran a bit wide, so he's down to P11, but everyone's got through turn 1 okay in Hamilton. So let's see. Get the same Verstappen or not. Let's get the rest of the UI up. Take the tyres off for now, because we don't really need to see that at the moment. Everyone lining up. Mark on pole, pointing his car towards that inside line to try and cover off Diablo. Beefy Boy in P3, JM in P... Dragon P5, Cold Steel P6, Basson P7, Matt P8, Bergen P9 and Magnitex P10 is your top 10, and we are about to get ready for lights out. And we've got the lights coming on. We've got 3, 4 and 5 red lights as the drivers get ready for round 5 of Bahrain. It's lights out and away we go. Mark looked like he got a pretty decent start. He covers off Diablo, and now down the run into turn 1. Is Diablo going to be able to get himself alongside around the outside? He's trying it. He is trying it. JM is trying down the inside of Beefy Boy. There's a little bit of contact further on back. Oh, and there's a spin. There is a spin for Bergen, so that's a real big setback for him already. But out in front, Mark has managed to hold on to the lead of the race, gives Diablo the squeeze, and that's allowed Beefy Boy around the outside, and either Diablo spun or there was a little bit of contact, but Diablo is now round and at the back of the field, so 2 bits of contact it looks like. Oh, and Beefy Boy nearly hit the back of Mark going down to turn 6. Very lively start to this race. We've got the person who started second is now down in 17th, and Bergen, who started in the midfield, is now down in 19th, so it's a chaotic start for both of them. Right in front, Mark has managed to hold on to the lead of the race. Beefy Boy moving up to P2 and Radigan claiming up to P3 after a P5 start, so JM has got damage, so whether he got caught out by the Diablo spin, he was around that area, so JM has had a shocker start of another race. He's going to have to come into the pits very early to change off them soft compound tyres, have a wing change and put mediums. Out in front, Mark has held the lead of the race. Slight gaps forming across the field as JM peels off into the pit lane. Back, there's Diablo making gains already. He's moved himself up from, I think it was P17 after the contact, now to P14 as he makes a move on Royal Rumbles on the medium compound tyres. As well, so he's starting the charge back through the field, down the inside he goes. A little bit of a squeeze. Oh, going to go too wide through this section of the track. Goes very deep, that's going to allow Diablo, if he can. May have got off track limit warning for that, potentially, but he makes the move stick down the inside. Haytham will try and fight it back, but I don't think he has. He's going to try and fight it back, or he backs out of it. Wise thing to do for Haytham. Compromises his exit line now. That's Royal Rumble's going to have a go at him. Using that battery, but I think Haytham's got enough battery to defend, and Royal Rumble's probably going to have to bail on that overtake attempt, which he does. Out in front. He's kept the lead of the race. Beefboy in P2, Rattigan as LP3 in Cold Steel is falling off the back of Rattigan in P4, so we've seen a break in the train already. The front three have broken away. Cold Steel already struggling for pace, it looks like. We saw this in Netherlands. He was very quick in qualifying, and in the race he just could not compete with Stepney's pace at the time. Fell to P5 in the end in Cold Steel. The only signs here is that it might be another race where potentially go backwards, and on a track like Bahrain it's harder to keep the cars behind like it was in Netherlands. The lead is scrapping away out in front. It's probably going to help getting back within that 1 second to get the extra recharge on the battery. There's another break in the train as well. Rage is currently outside that 1 second, so he's going to try and get back in if he can, as is John, and Beefboy and Mark are going side by side down to turn 6. Turn 7, it's turn 7. This is turn 8 and 9, and Beefboy down the inside. Very nice move, very weird place that you see an overtake, but he made the move, made it stick. Now is Mark going to have to run back and lift stuff, and this scrapping is allowed Cold Steel to get back into that 1 second. He's going to bunch that train back together, so this is full-blown fighting at the front. For that P1 position. Train which was split in two places for, well, I think down to P10 at the moment. Back together again. Viking just on the edge of that 1 second as Mark makes a move down the inside. So he's back in the lead of the race. Beefboy's going to swing it around the outside. That's very nicely done. And Mark, because he was ahead at the overtake point, doesn't get the added battery recharge for this lap, but he's going to make a move back for the lead of the race. Rattigan sit on board with. Beefboy try and move. He's sticking his car there, he's keeping his car there, and Mark's going to have to give him space, and he gives him loads of space. Mark is very generous in the space that he's given at turn 2. Out of turn 3 now up to turn 4, and Rattigan's going to get himself alongside Mark. Is he going to be able to take P2? Mark's certainly struggling very early on in terms of tyre performance, it looks like, and he's dropped from P1 to P3 in the last lap. To break in the train, Rage and P9 has lost the back as Magnitex and Scouse are deciding to race each other. Two Verdagram GP cars. Top 9 are broken, and Matt, Magnitex using a lot of battery to get ahead of Matt for P6. A lot of scraps going on already, early days, and it's allowing the train to really stick together still. JM pitted again? It's even further off the back. Yeah, JM boxed to get. Oh, he boxed and it didn't change his front wing. Brutal. Diablo makes a move on Fox for P11, so he's currently on the chargeback, and considering that spun as Cold Steel comes into the pits, so Cold Steel on the end of lap 4, as expected, that's when we're going to see the start triggering of that undercut. It's a double medium stint from this point onwards. Diablo trying to make a move around the outside of Fox for P10. Fox is going to fight it back, and he's going to try, but he cannot. Diablo through drivers. JM has spun again at the back of the field. Absolutely bare is JM in this race. It's got going again at least, but now being lapped by the group ahead. Hassan has moved himself up to P4 after Cold Steel hit. Work to do because he's 1.6 seconds off the front three again. That front three potentially going to break away as JM has got damage again. Way off track. Stays clear out the way. Probably might see JM retire at the end of this lap. The race now is effectively over. Now it's been lapped. Until he's letting everything go, it does look like it will be a retirement. So, Cold Steel did box to cover, to trigger that undercut. Does anyone following him in? Everyone is staying out at the moment. It's been very defensive. No one has followed Cold Steel in. Oh, Diablo's coming in. So Diablo is the next car into the box, as does who's that? Bergen. JM into the box for the third time already in this race. Is he going to carry on? Currently going wheel to wheel at the front of the race, and very, very clean driving between the two, going too wide through the S section, and Beefy Boy's managed to hold on to the lead. He's got plenty of battery stored up as well compared to Rag, who's obviously been on the offensive. This lap breaks very deep just to get the car stopped somehow. Yes. Cold Steel is running in clean air. What's the gap to the leader? Running at 23 seconds, so I think Cold Steel now, with that undercut, I think he's going to take the lead of the race. So has Ragan just had a moment? He's got behind Mark now. So I think Ragan must have had a moment out the exit of turn 10. The Cold Steel is now 22.6 off the lead, so he's definitely taken the lead of the race through the undercut. Williams choose to box, so two more cars in. Matt has now come in, as has Irish Scouse for the medium compound tyres, so there's a few more now boxing. A lot of cars here that have not picked it yet. It's the case that drivers can't get the mediums as long as they would ideally like, which is forcing them to stay out on the softs longer. Bassing is going for a mighty slide, it looked like going through up turn 4. Comparison there, Matt, who was running behind Magnatex, he's 3 seconds off the back of Cold Steel, so that just shows that Cold Steel has taken the lead of the race through the undercut. Plenty of clean air still ahead of him though. Pablo's managed to undercut Scouse with his early pit box as well. See the leaders box this lap, or will they stay out for an extra lap? Coming up to the end of lap 7 now, so I would expect them to box this lap surely. Unless they're switching to the one stop, but Beefy Boy comes in, Mark comes in, Radigan comes in, everyone's coming in. Who was that faked entry? It was Magnatex, so Magnatex stays out, as is Rage, and Rage is going to make a move on Magnatex for the lead of the race. Rage is on the medium compound tyres, mind you, so he won't be boxing just yet, will he? And he does down the inside, now going too wide through turn 2, out of turn 3, and now the front up to turn 4. It's going to be a battery straight line run up to turn 4. Neither of them are yielding. It's good, clean racing between these two drivers as they're going through turn 5 now. The S section, and Magnatex manages to hold on to the lead of the race. Cold Steel has taken the lead, as expected, with the undercut. Second clear up the road, but he's got 4-lap old tyres. Cars around him. Everyone is still on the correct tyres, so made an incorrect pit stop yet, which is good. Switch off the gap to lead. Go back to interval as well. So Cold Steel's currently 6 seconds still of clean air to Delta, which is the next car. Bahrain is the first driver who picks up a 3-second time penalty. Dragon's lost out massively in the pit stop phase. Wonder if he got double stacked. No, he didn't. That was just purely undercut. So at the moment, with net positions as of the pit stops, it's Cold Steel P1, Beefy Boy P2 and Mark P3. Rage and Magnatex are not going at it. Magnatex has now boxed off them soft compound tyres. So I think the cars that are all running are the 5 cars which started on the medium compound tyres. I think Delta actually might still be on the softs. But Delta is the only runner on the soft compound tyres still on track. Going for something a little bit different. The gap to Cold Steel has now closed. Cold Steel obviously on them 5-lap old medium compound tyres now compared to the boys 1-lap old tyres. So they're going to start seeing where this front 3 already stretching out the pack somewhat as Matt is struggling to stay on the back of Mark. And Mark is just hanging onto the back of at the moment as well. Before we make a move down the inside, it's an opportunistic move, but the gap was open. Cold Steel left the door wide open, and Boy just absolutely sent it down it, and the move up for P6. Cold Steel looks like it's struggling under traction on them slightly on the tyres. You can hear the tyres really struggling under their acceleration. And that, see, the undercut gives you that track position, but you're then now fighting everyone else around you who is on much fresher tyres. That is going to come back to bite in the back end of the stint. It will then regain the track position again when he undercuts for a second time. And on that final stint, he'll be once again fighting cars around him which are on fresher tyres and trying to defend as hard and as good as he can just to maintain position. Mark is eyeing up a move. That battery though, as Constant's got a good battery to defend himself, but on a bit of blast has allowed Mark to get alongside into the braking zone of turn 1. Still there. Mark can give him plenty of space at the exit of turn 2, which he does, and Mark completes the move, so he's up to P7 now. Cold Steel's lost 2 positions in the last 2 laps. Delta is trying the 1-stop. Doing these on, we're coming up to lap 10 and he's still on them soft compound tyres. Pace has really dropped off though. Like catastrophically dropped off. Been caught 1.5 seconds in that sector alone at the moment. Want to get past Delta as quickly as possible. You just really want to be held up by him if you can avoid it. Smart game, sticking behind so we can get the overtake of the added battery in Beefy Boy, which is the right thing to do, and now we can make the move down to turn 1. Delta really struggling on corner exit. Easy move for Beefy Boy in the end. Mark's going to follow him through as Delta does peel off into the pits finally to make his first pit stop of this race. So the top 4 haven't boxed yet. They're all running the medium compound tyres off the start. Beefy Boy is the first car who has boxed. Currently net P1 and Cold Steel. It's the first car to pit onto the medium compound tyres to feel the pain. That undercut. Losing his contract. Especially if he bins it again, Cork. Can you show laps, please? Yeah, no problem. I know what you meant. The Beefy Boy is rapidly approaching Royal Rumble, jet to box. And that gap, Cold Steel is just about managing to keep in that 1 second, but just about lose it, and he's over a second now. Really, it's his braking zone where he's going to lose a bit of the time under traction. And he's going to be able to stay in. 1.1 seconds now, so not Beefy Boy, sorry, Cold Steel has lost the 1 second to Mark ahead, so he no longer has the added recharge of the battery. Matt will probably see that the gap has increased, and he's going to be looking not to make an overtake. Both Mark and make the move on Royal Rumble. Rage and Craig have boxed. They've gone off the tyres as Diablo picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Line of a move. Matt F1 can't get himself alongside, so has to back out of that overtake. Chris's race now it's compounded by that 3-second time penalty as Holden gets to 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Steel is trying to move down the inside of Royal Rumble. Between the two, and Royal Rumble runs off track. So space was given. He's left the section and DNF. That'll go down well for the Williams team as to move down the inside. Royal Rumble cannot defend that one. Ratigan follows Diablo through. Royal Rumble's trying the one stop, losing a lot of time already. Seeing box this lap potentially, but cars all over each other, tripping all over each other at the moment. That's got to be careful because Ratigan is on the outside. Luckily, no harm done, but Ratigan goes a bit deep into the braking zone, and we've got contact then between Royal Rumble and that. Royal Rumble goes up into the pits. Hopefully, he didn't get damage off that little bit of contact. Carrying his race as is, but two Jaguar and Video cars are very much going to work together in terms of making moves as a Wolfpack, and that gets all squirrely on the corner exit, and that's compromised Mac's exit line, which has allowed Basson to get alongside and now potentially up to a 2, maybe 3 wide situation up to turn 4, but managed to sort themselves out. But Ryan, has he picked up damage? He's on older tyres compared to the cars around him, so is that tyre wear related? Had a few corners there where he was really struggling, and Ratigan managed to put the gap on him already. I want another camera angle for Chris. So he hasn't got damage. It might just purely be tyre performance. But out in front, Beefy Boy and Mark have continued to stretch out that gap to Cold Steel, who's feeling the pain of that undercut. On Cold Steel, so Ratigan now up to P3 track. Try and set his sight on the cars ahead, but put a 3.5 second gap on Ratigan. He's got a lot of work to do, and now doesn't have the added recharge. He's got no cars in front of him in that 1 second window, so Mark and people really try and work together at this point in the race, just continuing to extend that gap out in front. Once they've got that gap and know that they're kind of confirmed to be either P1 or P2 on the final stint, is they will compete against each other, but they might not. They might be scrapping every corner, which is going to allow Ratigan and Diablo to catch back up. Two Jaguar and Video drivers having a very, very strong race at the moment. Currently running in P5, so at the moment, the top 5 are covered by 2 cars in Jaguar and Video and 2 cars in Pro G Mercedes. gap now has increased to 3.7 seconds, 5 now after that corner. The gap is around stabilised, but it's 3.6 now, 7, and that has meant to be back on Diablo. Oh, and Diablo spun. Diablo was spun under acceleration, so it's a mistake from Diablo on the corner exit of the final corner, and it's dropped him from P5 to P11. But what was looking like a strong result for Jaguar Nvidia Racing has now meant Diablo is going to have to make moves through the field again. Cold Steel and Magnatex are now going too wide as Cold Steel loses the back end, it looks like. Was that contact? Bassen's off the track as well, so that could be contact between Bassen and Cold Steel. We didn't see it, but both cars were off track, so that makes me think there was contact between the two cars, and that's allowed Magnatex through, it's allowed Scouse through, so that's currently P5 and P6 for Murder Grand GP. Cold Steel is now been relegated to P7. Bassen and Rage are going at it. Contact between the two as we just jumped on board with this battle. Rage has made the move up to P8. Rage is on the freshest tyres of a lot of the drivers around him, so we can make some moves on these cars with older tyres. He's got the soft tyres to go at the final stint as well. Which makes a very solid move around the outside of Cold Steel. Cold Steel trying to hang it on the inside if he can, but he hasn't got the tyres to compete. Now Bassen's going to try and move if he can down towards the final corner. So it gives him the squeeze. Fair enough, because Bassen was not alongside going into the braking zone, and now they've run down to turn 1, and Mark has taken the lead of the race down the straight, probably with battery and straight line mode. He's going to deep into turn 1, which compromises exit of turn 2. Now around turn 3, Beefboy might have another go at him, but Mark's probably going to defend. Just defend. Beefboy tries to move down the inside. These two are now scrapping away with each other for the lead of the race, and that's what Rattigan wants. Beefy Boy back into the lead of the race now, and Rattigan's caught up 5 tenths after that little bit of a scrap between the two. It's now down to 2.6 seconds, so lost over a second with that little bit of a scrap through turns 1 to 4. Scouts doesn't look like to have the race pace of his teammate as he's dropping further back from Magnatex. Magnatex on 7-lap old medium, so he's on fresher mediums than the cars ahead of him by a lap or two. The strategy of this race has proven to be a little bit interesting with undercuts. I mean, pit window again for another set of mediums is probably end of this lap earliest. Cold Steel will probably hold it out for one more lap then box, but he's lost a lot of time. There's Rage and Scouse are now going side by side. A little bit of contact between the two. Scouse going to try and hang it around the outside, and now they've run. We've got yellow flags. That's JM keeping well out of the way. The back marker stopped on track. Moving, so not the A safety car, but Magnatex around, not Magnatex, sorry, Rage around the outside of Scouts gets the move done for P6. Scouts drops to P7. Chris has boxed again, so Cold Steel and Chris have boxed the lap before as well. That's to John. So them 3 cars have done their second not mandatory pit stop, but they've done their second pit stop. They're on them tyres now to the end of the race. Steele's got a 3-second clean air to the car ahead of Delta. He's nearly 8 seconds off the lead by the time he boxed. Yeah, it's not really one to put. Stick with the extra pit stop, it's obviously undercuts are that big. Got Rage coming through the field as well, he's only, what, 6 seconds off the lead. There's 2 cars boxing there. That is Scouse and Baston, so they're coming into the pits for a medium compound tyre change. Magnatex makes the move down the inside on Matt F1. It's for P4. Obviously, Magnatex on slightly newer tyres than the cars around him. Pit window now is definitely open for 2 yellow flags. Oh, is that Chris off again? That is Chris off again. Oh, and Diablo's race has gone from bad to worse to even worse. Off in the barrier. Whether that was contact or a mistake, but... Oh, and he's round again. We'll jump off board off you, Chris, give you a bit of sympathy in the gravel trap. So good for Jaguar in video, but now it is bad to worse for them. Diablo's gone into the pits. Front wing change. Surprised if his front wing isn't in ruins, considering he was in the barrier. And he retires from the session. Looking like a good result after qualifying. Contact early on. Spin. Final corner twice. Race ending, and Beefy Boy is coming into the pits. Mark follows him in. Dragon will follow him in. So one pit stop and Matt stays out. Dragon gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits. That is another setback for Jaguar in video. Looking like such a good result for them, it's just unravelling before their eyes. A lot of cars going on, there's a full car battle going on further back. Still in the middle of a pack of Delta, Bass and Scouse. Steele's lost a lot of time in the pit stop. It's that far back after the first stint, but not as Cold Steele's trying to attack Delta, and that's allowed the Irish Scouse to take the opportunity to make a move through the P11. Oh, and it's contact, and Delta has been hit by Cold Steel down towards turn 9. I don't know whether that was Delta drifting into Cold Steel's line. We'll be able to see it until we get footage off both the drivers, but that could be a steward's report, and Delta tagged by Cold Steel going down towards turn 9. It's been Matt now comes in. It's Rage stays out, obviously he soft compound tyres on the final stint. Ray currently slotted in on the soft compound tyre. It's now. So that's enabled to get in with a gap. Mark is within the 1 second. And it's now. So Dragon's got that 10-second penalty. Get out ahead of Magnatex, he won't, so he'll drop slot into P5 will at F1. P4 after obviously Rat gets 10-second penalty. Yellow flags, and that's a spin. There's a spin for Cold Steel, who's in the barrier. Whether that's with contact or not, we're simply missing all of the spins. And look, that looks like he's lost his entire front wing as well. Oh, not with the downforce of that actually. Just about kept it out of the barriers. So he has front wing left side damage. There's another car struggling, it looks like. Well, I mean, whether it was contact or not, obviously we didn't see. That line in front is still between Park and Lee. Now Brighton's got that 10-second penalty. It's about potential. I think this is a two-way fight for the lead now. As these two just looked a little bit of a class ahead of cars behind them in terms of race pace. Magnatex can do. Set him some good pace in the middle stint, but that was because of a newer tyre. Now he's on the same age tyres as the cars around him. fastest lap of the race, just Magnetex. F1 has just come out ahead of Rage. Soft compound tyres, so got a long soft stint ahead of him. Worked wonders for the first few laps, but they come back to bite him a little bit. Stint. Trying to make it down the inside, just reach. Considerably confident on tyres and on the brakes, and not going to go too wide with Matt, and I think Matt just accepts it and just goes, okay, come on through, you're going to make a move like that on your new tyres. Rage moves himself up to 5, so Rage potentially not out of it, depending on how long you can keep his pace up on these tyres. It's a safety car in Hamilton. 21-29, so they're the same distance as us. Races are near enough in sync with each. So Magnetex has managed to close that gap to a second on Rattigan. So Magnetex is net P3 as it stands with Rattigan's 10-second speed. Break that F1 by a second. It's just about managed to stay into it. That's raging them soft compound tyres at the moment. He's managed to hold on to the lead for another lap, so it's the waiting game for Mark. When does he choose to overtake? Is he going to leave it till the final few laps and then try and brake on the final lap? He'll leave it for the final lap. So obviously keep attacking to force people's battery to be manage and save his battery as much as possible so he's able to protect that. Evans has lost the lead in Hamilton. Oh, he got torpedoed. Oh dear. Oh dear. I hope you haven't seen Hamilton. Going back to Verstappen. So again, at 22 or 23, will Mark make an overtake now? That'll go on here, sorry, we'll do this to see positions swapping around all in the midfield. Scouts, Bergen, Hayden, 9, 10, 11. Hayden got the freshest tyres of the lot. Bergen, 10. Rage sets the fastest lap of the race. As Mark now changing. I didn't want to swap myself all over the grid. I can't be in two places at once. Mark and Beef swapping places. Beef managed to get back ahead through turns 1 and 2. Mark then regaining the lead. We're going to jump on board with that actually because they are going absolutely tooth and nail each other. And Beef hold the lead again. Playing the defensive game very well at the moment. Mark is just biding his time and putting Beef with pressure lap after lap after lap. Got back to this P9 battle, which seems to sort itself out. P10, Bergen, Evan Scout from P9. Struggling. Pace. Annie, how are you, my friend? Hope you're well and thank you for tuning in. We've got 7 laps to go, or 6.5 laps to go of this race. Everyone has done the pit stops that they need to do. As Beefy Boy runs over the curb, gets a 3-second penalty, and that is basically curtains on the end of the race, unless Mark is also on 2 warnings. But now he knows that Beefy Boy's got a 3-second penalty, he can just play it safe. He can let Beefy Boy go, and he doesn't need to re-overtake unless he runs the risk that one of Beefy Boy's penalties is an incident where he was pushed off track. But it's made the end of this race for Mark a lot easier than what it should be. As JM looks like he's had another adventure. He's still going, fair play to him. Scouse gets a 3-second penalty now, so that's going to cost him positions at the end of the race, for the fact that Bergen and Haytham are so close to him. There's Craig and John, 12 at the moment. Two barely each other, but John down the inside of Craig, up to turn 4, under braking, makes the move, makes it stick, and that's P12 for John, but it's not, because Craig fights back and John loses it on corner exit, and that's allowed Craig to stay ahead in P12. It's a bit... just in time for that one, as Fox made a move on the inside of Basson, but went extremely deep, and that's allowed Basson moved back into P7. Struggled in the last stint as Basson. Was up there at the fight at the podium early on, but this stint is just dropped off the lead group. 27-second gap between himself and Matt F1 in P6. That 3-second penalty as well. It's P8 for best at Basson, unless Fox gets a penalty himself. P3, Magnetex down the inside. All drivers in this little battle are struggling on battery management. Are going to be able to hold? Oh, contact between the two. It looked like a little bit of contact. Magnetex finally made the move, and he's up into P3. Fragan going to make a move back. Wants to pull behind and rage on them soft compound tyres. He's looking interested for a podium now as well. As it stands, it's Mark on P1, Boy will be P2, it's the 3-second penalty. Magnetex P3, it'll be Rage currently on for P4, with Matt P5. Ratigan will drop to P6 with his 10-second penalty. Out in front, the battle for the lead is obviously just a formality at this point with the 3-second penalty. It's this battle for P3 that is the most interesting battle on track. We've got Scouse and Jumbo John going too wide. Scouse has struggled a little bit in this stint. I keep jumping off board and overtakes are happening. Rage has made a move on Ratigan from P4. Next up the road for Rage is Magnetex. How much longer are their soft compound tyres going to hold on for? Ratigan is fighting back against Rage, and he's made the move through turns 1 and 2. So back up to P4 again, so that's going to cost Rage another chance. So he makes a move down the inside, which he does. Cars give each other a bit of space, and they're now going to go too wide through the S section, but Rage has to back out because Ratigan is choosing to not back out. It's a good defending driver from Ratigan. Very committed. That's costing Rage the optimum chance to try and get that podium off Magnetex, and Magnetex's pace isn't too bad at the moment as well. Reaching that gap as it's a spin, that's for Bergen, so it's contact between Bergen and Haytham. Not too sure. Rage has made the move again down the inside of Ratigan. Ratigan is then going to fight it back. They're now going to go too wide up to the hill at the start of the final sector. And now that's allowed Magnetex to go. That's broken Magnetex away from this train. Now Rage makes the move on Ratigan. Rage just put it in none and let him go by. Now it's a battery run down to turn 1. Rage going very defensive down the inside, but you can clearly see he's ran out of battery. Just about done enough. Stay ahead. Well, that was down the inside of Ratigan as well there at the time, actually. So right now, Beefy Boy is going to drop to P3 after his 3-second time penalty. It's 2.5 laps to go. And Fox are going at it once again for P7. I think Basson is playing a very good defensive game and allowing Haytham to try and close up to this battle if he can. It's an extra position for Monarch. at the end of the race, if they do manage to get that extra position or not. Dragon had a bit of a lag spot there, it looked like. Magnetek's pace is very solid at the moment. Closing that gap to the leaders by a good 6-7 tenths a lap. It's not going to be enough to catch up to try and overtake Mark, I don't think. His level of pace might drop Beefy Boy off the podium. So it's currently 3.7 ahead of Rage. Broken Radigan now, and that's allowed Matt to get through Radigan into P5. Tex is almost within that 1 second gap. Too hard before the added battery. Got 1.5 laps to go. It's that time to Rage, 3.8 seconds at the moment. Will Beefy Boy hang on for a podium, or Rage be able to claim his first podium of the season? Much fighting goes. John and Craig are going at it again, it looked like, into turn 1, but we're going to stick on board obviously around all the podium positions. Magnetex is closing onto the back of the lead pair. It's been a commanding performance from Beefy Boy and Mark, but unfortunately that 3-second penalty has just caused the end of this race to fizzle out. Back to Rage is now 3.2 seconds, so Beefy Boy really needs to get a move on this final lap if he can. He holds on to that podium place. Magnetex is within the 1 second. Rage is now within the 3 seconds of Beefy Boy's 3-second time penalty. Right on the edge now as Rage is out of battery on the straight, so that gap's going to increase somewhat. We're on to the final lap of this race. What we said was earlier was Basson just holding up Fox enough that's allowed Haytham to get onto the back of these two. Basson will obviously lose a position to Haytham. May gain on Ratigan potentially with the 10-second penalty that Ratigan's got to serve at the end of the race. Viking Fox down the inside, Basson doing defensive wonders once again. As Fox now gets a 3-second penalty, so the pressure from Basson's defending has paid off, and that's allowed Haytham to claim a P7 finish for the team. Now, depending on what these guys could do, they'll be eager just to put the foot down to the floor, see whether they can get Haytham up to P6. Out in front, so Mark is going to win this race from Beacon Boy. Rage is currently at 3.1 seconds. Got a fuel warning light as Rage. Hopefully that's not going to run out of fuel before the line. Coming up to the line, it's going to be Beefy Boy that's going to win on track, but with the penalty, it's going to be Mark who's going to take his second win of the season. He wins the Bahrain Grand Prix with Magnetex finishing P2, and Beefy Boy does hold on to P3 in the end. Rage for great drive, finishes P4. Matt F1 was P5, Ratigan P6, but will he stay in P6 after the penalty? He will. Haytham will jump up to P7, Basson P8, Viking Fox P9, and Scouse rounds out the top 10. Bergen finishes P11, and John and Craig are having a run to the line, a drag to the line, and who's it going to be? It's going to be John, just about. And Craig by 0.039 of a second. For a rumble, he's going to come home with P14. Delta will finish P15. Bolt Steel and JM are on cruise laps. And lucky Beefy, mate. It's one of them, isn't it? It's been a great race, great pace from you pair. You just, made the race easy for Mark in the end. But that's the Mark, it's another win. Showing how strong his pace is at the moment. Bonk Steel comes across the line for P16, and JM is going to finish the race in P17. Whoa, right, let's do my keys. Just, there we go. Oh my god, I've done comms and it's wet. This chair's horrible to sit in. No problem, Manic. Just message in chat. Oh, there we go. Another race done. Round 6, no problem, Rage. Great drive from you. Well done on P4, my friend. Kota this week. But as always, thank you very much for tuning in. Everyone who either dropped it in on the background or who was watching along the entire race, much appreciated. Yeah, I think we reached a peak of like 26 people, and I'm pretty sure we averaged around 18, 19 the entire race, so it's very much appreciated. As always, thank you very much, and I will catch you all next week.
Don't look back, it's you and I. We're here tonight. Raise your hands and make me reach the stars. Feel the sparkle in the air. It's everywhere. Don't know about you, but I'm getting what's mine. I got the power. The moment is ours. I'm getting higher and higher. I can't get enough. I got the power. It's getting louder. I'm getting higher and higher. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. Getting higher. Is ours. Power. I can't get enough. it's you and I. We're here tonight, raise your hands and make me reach the stars. Feel the sparkle in the air, it's everywhere. Don't know about you, but I'm getting what's mine.